Hi, I'm Carl, and welcome back to Adventures in Camping. Today, we're going to work on that axe. We need to remove the old handle and insert the new one. And I'm going to try a few things and see if they work or not. We're going to try to do it with a green pole. So, let's give it a shot. Oh, and by the way, subscribe and hit the little bell icon so you know when I put out a new video. Stick with me, we'll get right to it. If you want a quality handle for whatever tool you're using, visit House Handle Company on the internet. This is not a paid advertisement. It's a family company back in Missouri, where I'm from, and I think they make great products. So first, we need to remove the head. Okay, so now I have a piece of ironwood here. You can tell the ironwood by what looks like veins going through it. Now, let's cut her off to a length that should do what I need it to do, and then we'll dress it. As I said, this is an experiment, because you may not always have a drift to drive it out of the head. So let's try it without the drift. Get the drift? There's a danger that you need to consider when working with boiled linseed oil. Stick with me, and in a little bit, I'll tell you what it is. Here we have our axe head. You see, this has an enormous metal wedge in it, okay? Maybe you're in a situation where you have to make your own axe handle. Well, you can make your own axe handle, but if you can't get it out of here, then that's a big problem. Also, I have seen where people have said you should burn it out. Bury this in the ground and burn it out. I would only do that as a last resort, because you do take a chance on that heat traveling down that blade even into the dirt and annealing this, and you're going to have to harden it and temper it all over again. So I am going to use a military issue Woodman's Pal in order to do what I need to do with this. Okay? So first of all, let's see if that is small enough to make it into the head. Looks pretty good. Let's give it just a little bit more, just to be sure. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never done it this way. That's why I said we're experimenting. Now, this I do know. See where I'm taking these edges off? This will help prevent the wood from splitting. I'm taking this little split part off here where it split where I took it off. Okay. So here we have a log with a hole in it. We're going to see if we can use it just like that. And I don't know if this piece of wood that I've got is going to do the job, but we're going to give it a shot. Look at that wedge. That sucker is deep. This is working, so let's go for it. There it goes. So let's look at this wedge. Wow. I'll be honest, I have never seen one like this. That's pretty cool. It feels aluminum. And there we have it. Now it's time to prepare the handle. Got to get the handle. I need to get a handle on it. Yes, I'm weird and I know it. All right, let's see how close we are. Woo! Tis a tight fit. So we're going to use the wood rasp. I have seen others use sandpaper and all of that good stuff. I'm sorry, I'm not that patient. So this is Carl's way of doing it, like it or not. Got a ways to go. Getting closer. These sides here and here need to come down a little more though. Let's see, let's check our fit now. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. Starting to get in there. Needs some more work though. So I'll take it off and keep going. Now that I have that off, if you look at it, you're gonna see I've got a few marks here. Got a mark here where it's slick. See where it's slick right there? Turn this over. Got a mark right here. It's a little slick over in here. So you want to hit all those slick spots because that's telling you that's where it's binding. So let's take care of that. Now I'm using the smooth side. Smooth things up just a little bit. I am not worried about sanding this, hand sanding this with a finer sandpaper. It's going to be inside the head. All right, see what we got. It's looking pretty good. It's getting closer. Now we do want it tight. So there's a point where I'm going to want to stop. I got a little bit of room right here, which should be good for that. But let's have a look and see if I need to take out any more back here and back here. And you notice I'm not using a hammer. I'm using this stick that I've been using for batoning. Wow, it's getting pretty close. See? See how close that is now? Okay. Let's give it a little bit more though. That's looking better. We're looking pretty good. Now to seat this, we're not going to keep beating up here, okay? Because we really can't, because eventually that handle is going to be up here beyond that, and then what do you do? But there's a better way of doing it, and it's a little counterintuitive. Trust me, it works. So now, instead of trying to beat this way, okay, you can see now that I'm already at the top. We're going to do it the other way, okay? See how that's working? And let's go some more. What happens is the weight of the head acts like an anvil. The weight of the head is actually forcing the handle on. Now before we go too far, let's do something here. I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to scribe a little line on here. This will give me an idea where I am as I'm driving this handle into the head. And since I'm using a softer wood, see, I'm not damaging the handle any. I'm using a softer wood. Now, if you were working on this at home, a rubber mallet would be better. I don't have a rubber mallet. This is actually a piece of white pine. Trying to make sure I hit it square. Look at this. See where I was and where I am now? I don't want to go too far because I don't want to damage this. You see it's starting to starting to curl the wood up. It's starting to seat itself pretty nicely. I'm going to go just a hair further and then stop. Let's put another mark on it. Okay, let's go a little more. It's moved a little bit. I don't know if you can see it. There, that second line is right there, but I think I have went in far enough. If you like the sawbuck that I have been using to do this work, check out the card that I'm adding so that you can go to that and look at how this was made. Let's cut a little bit of this off. Try to do it straight. And that line that I cut is going to be my line that I use to cut it with. So I'm just following it. Alrighty. So there we have it now. Now it's time to drive that wedge in. All right, now if you see this, you notice it's a little curled on the edges here. I'm going to take care of that with a file, not with the wood rasp, but you should always have a file in camp with you for sharpening your tools, as well as a sharpening stone. So I'm going to fix that. And let's sharpen this up just a tad. I am going to put this axe against this to kind of support it. Remember what I said about this hatchet, this hunter's axe that I made out of another axe? It's got this heavy pole. That's going to come in real handy right about now. Whoops. See, I goofed. These things have a tendency to want to kind of go in squirrely. There we go. If I was using a different type of wedge, like a wood wedge, I would want to pound that in with a piece of wood. Cross it like that, so I can control whether that thing is going in straight. If you hit it with just the pole of your axe and hit it in one spot, you take a chance on splitting it. You really don't want to do that. So you're going to use something else to control how straight you put it in, and you may even want to flatten two sides so that you have a nice straight flat surface. And then you can put your wedges in here and here. This one was a little bit of a oddball, and I decided to stick with it. And it works. Now I have one more thing that I want to do with this. I'm going to soak this head in boiled linseed oil. What will happen is fill the wood with the boiled linseed oil, cause it to swell. But it won't evaporate. It'll harden some, but it won't evaporate. I don't know if anyone has ever told you that if you have a loose head, soak it in water and it will tighten the head up. That is the worst thing you can do. Don't do it. Soaking in water does cause the molecules of the wood to swell up. However, what ends up happening is you damage the molecular structure of the wood, and when it dries out, it's looser than it was before. By soaking this head in boiled linseed oil, it's not going to evaporate, so it's going to stay nice and hard. But if you look at this now, see, I don't have any cracks down here. Everything looks good. I got a little spot here where it kind of caused it to See, that just curled that wood a little bit. It's okay. See this here, I left it out a little bit, which is not a problem. That leaves a little bit out. You don't want to go too deep. That's why I cut some off and then pounded it in, because I don't want to go too deep. We'll see how I did over time. All right, so I'm going to take the wood rasp, take the smooth side, and just kind of clean this off a little bit. Try not to cut myself. There's the end, okay? And then you can see right in here, this is where it was raw. Now, I soaked this head from about here up in a boiled linseed oil. This is my vat, okay? All it is a cut off can of denatured alcohol. I did add the spout because pouring it out, it wants to dribble down the side. So I made a spout for it and soldered it onto it, and also soldered this lip that strengthens it. A great little vat. It's works great for what I made it for. Just an idea, showing you. When working with boiled linseed oil, you need to make sure that you just don't throw the rags in the trash, because boiled linseed oil will build up heat in whatever rags you're using and start a fire. It will spontaneously combust. So you need to lay them out and let them dry for at least 24 hours. Well, there you have it. Replacing an axe head in camp. There's a few things that you're going to want to have. You saw that, but you saw that I was able to do it with a piece of ironwood and not having to have a metal drift. It worked. Be ready, and don't let circumstances remove you from the gene pool. Y'all come back now, you hear?